Indeed a pleasure for me to be introducing the guest speaker tonight. I promise that I will not do his full bio. I do not want to upstage our presenter, so I will do an abbreviated version. Our guest presenter tonight is Dr. Anthony Sterling. He's the founder of Sterling Dental. He graduated from Ohio State University College of Dentistry in 1992 and established his first practice in the Greater Toronto Area. He presently operates two very successful dental practices in Brampton. Dr. Sterling is very passionate about dentistry. For him, dentistry is not just a profession, it is a calling. As such, Dr. Sterling is a consummate perfectionist about the quality of his work and his relationship with his patients. His unofficial motto could very well be, always try to do better than your best. He is very personable and derives great satisfaction from his day-to-day interaction with his patients. Dr. Sterling is always ready and willing to assist young people through scholarships and other means of creativity, channeling their energies into constructive and worthwhile pursuits. Dr. Sterling believes that as each individual grows and prospers, so should the community. This may help to explain why Dr. Sterling dedicates so much time and energy to community and service development. Towards this end, in 2008, Dr. Sterling instituted the annual Brampton Best Smile Search, wherein he encourages public participation in fundraising for Brampton Civic Hospital. Dr. Sterling has been a strong supporter of United Achievers organizations of Brampton. Not only does he attend various United Achievers events, he also participates in the annual golf tournament and provides an annual scholarship for the scholarship program. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Sterling to the podium.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me out there? So, thank you very much, Dr. Isaacs, for that wonderful introduction. As our Master of Ceremony said earlier, I wasn't sure if that was me. I thought I'd be waiting for Dr. Weeks to come up here. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Dignitaries, members of Brampton's United Achievers, our scholarship winners, and I'd like the scholarship winners to just raise their hands up so I could see where they are. A little higher, come on. The parents, family, friends, and volunteers. I'm truly honored to be the keynote speaker here for this wonderful event that inspires, transforms, and unites our community. When I was given this opportunity to speak with you this evening, I wondered what I would say. I was not sure if I would just be speaking to the scholarship winners or if I should also involve the parents. I wondered what would be the most important message to impart to you as members of my community, as you are indeed a part of my family. I thought it only natural to tell you what I'm preparing to tell my son, Tao, when he too graduates from high school. Although he has a few years to go, as he's only one. You saw him probably sneak out earlier. He went home to study. Tonight, I title my message, Tao's notes on graduation. When you leave tonight, I want you to have a clear understanding of the following points. 1, how to map out a good career path. 2, identify obstacles to your goals and how to overcome them. 3, know that growth is marred with flaws. 4, realize that passion is a must. 5, know that balance is essential. 6, developing good relationships is key to your success. And 7, you must help others to attain their goals because this will ensure that you reach your own. So here we go. What are your dreams? Where do you want to end up? What do you want to do with your life? Do you want to do what you like or what you're good at? Or are they the same thing? Will doing what you love make you the money that you need? The first step in realizing a dream is to examine what will make you the happiest. What would you wish for if you knew you would get it? Allow yourself to dream big. Don't be scared of asking for what you want. It just may come true. Before I go any further, some of the techniques that I will speak of are well detailed in one of my favorite books, Simple Steps to Impossible Dreams, by Stephen Scott. Each of the award recipients will receive a copy of this book as my gift to your future. As outlined in the book, once you've defined your dream, you will now start on the dream conversion process. Dream conversion allows you to map out a course for yourself, like stepping stones across a river. You must always focus ahead to see the stones that will support you on your journey to the other side. Some stones that you will need are not visible as you venture out onto your path. But you must be prepared for missteps. But you must quickly pick yourself up from the water and look for the next stone. If you're scared of falling or getting wet, you will never cross that river. Dream conversion can be applied to every important area of your life, empowering you to reach levels of success that would be otherwise impossible. For the proud parents here this evening, know that family motivation plays a key role in helping your child to shape and define their goals, especially at the start. However, there's a delicate balance between encouraging your child versus forcing your child into a path. As my father-in-law says very often, everyone has to find his own path. Then he stares off into space, for extra emphasis. And I'm left to ponder his wise words. In order to achieve success, you must take ownership of your own path, your future. Assume accountability and blame no one but yourself. This is the moment I call the inflection point. This is where how you think and act is irreversibly changed, where maturity and growth no longer allow you to backtrack. A child's first step launches him away from crawling and propels him into independence. Define your goals. My sister Lisa and I used to do a lot of marathon running. Approaching a race, she would often ask me for my time goal. I would answer her, my public or private goal. Because you see, I had 2 time goals for each race. One that I admitted to her and everyone else, and one secretly I kept inside. My goal was to run the most insanely fast time you have ever heard. I kept that private. I would often achieve my public goal, but I never attained my private goal. Why? Was I too scared to admit what I really wanted? Was this fear of failure what stopped me from attaining my private goals? I encourage you to write down your dreams, as there's something about transcribing your desires to paper that makes them become defined goals. Also, share your goals with family, friends, and those you love. But most importantly, those people who will encourage and support you along your path. Then, as your dreams become actualized, I dare you to publicly make your dreams bigger. This will greatly motivate you to see your goals through to fruition, because you will have an audience that you're accountable to. Okay, so you have a dream and you have a plan, but you still can't get there. You must realistically identify the obstacles to your dreams and make a plan to overcome them. Achieve your goal and become stronger in the process. I want to share with you some of the obstacles in the way of my dream to becoming a dentist. Let's go back to where many of you are today, finishing high school and entering colleges and universities. At that time in my life, my only dream was to be a professional basketball player. Surprisingly, life has not changed much in 30 years for most young men. I loved basketball. I played day and night. I would play at home. I'd play at school. I dribbled my basketball everywhere, on the streets, in the bus. I would even dribble when my mom would take me down Bathurst Street. I'd be dribbling on Bathurst Street all the way down to Honest Ed's, because that's where we used to shop. Yeah, I remember that. I was a basketball junkie. That ball never left my hand. My parents supported my basketball playing, but that was not their first, or for that matter, their 100th choice they had in mind for me. In those days, no West Indian parent thought anyone could make a living by throwing a ball into a basket. Singing, or playing music, or, don't forget that, get off that silly computer thing. And they were right, of course, weren't they? As school intensified, it became very difficult to maintain my grades and to continue to perform at the level I wanted to in basketball. By my third year of university, that difficulty, along with the unspoken pressures from my parents, left me contemplating quitting school. But instead, I eventually left the basketball team. Although I returned to finish out the basketball year, I had emotionally given up on my basketball dream. That door closed, and the dream of being a dentist was born. I traveled to the US to attend dental school at The Ohio State University. I faced many new academic and cultural challenges. I was one of 5 black students in the class of 125. I was the only Canadian in my class. I felt alone, away from my family and friends. I was no longer shielded by my armor of athletic supremacy I had built over those 15 years. Well known by my peers and professors. Now, all I had left was a long, meaningless student identification number. But I was embarking on my dream. Upon graduating, and once into my professional practice, the obstacles did not stop. You know, the ever infamous elephant in the room. I'm talking about racism. Not only from my colleagues, but from my very own patients. For example, some time would pass when I would not see one of them, only to have them tell me that their friend had told them to go to another dentist to get a second opinion. But now they're back to do the job. Sadly, they had not trusted my opinion, and they needed the approval of someone else to make my word acceptable. Is this real or perceived racism? Does it matter? They say perception is reality. The marketplace has moved forward since then. However, I still challenge you to trust, support, and empower each other, starting now, so that this issue of disunity will be obsolete in the speeches that you will make in the future. These obstacles did not stop me, and I know our graduates won't be stopped either. Despite the challenges I had on my path to becoming a dentist, I never gave up. I became more determined and focused to achieve. I learned from basketball to work hard, and I was never happy until I excelled at something. I learned from each stone across that river. Despite, or maybe because of my slight stature on the basketball court, or at least in those days, I became a smarter, craftier, better player by studying and learning the game instead of just playing it. I'm still a gym rat today, but now I expend much of that energy on being a dentist. I learn as much about dentistry as I can. I'm passionate about the process. And I love to help patients by enhancing their smiles. The expressions of joy and love which are shown through a smile are priceless. Even more so when the smile is given with wholehearted confidence. So what are your obstacles? Although each person will have their individual challenges, most obstacles are divided into three main types: talent and abilities, or lack thereof, money, and time. Which of these do you think is the most difficult to overcome? Make a plan to engage and disarm every obstacle. Do not be fearful. Use these obstacles to strengthen yourself. There is not one single way to overcome obstacles, but there are specific life skills which will allow you to manage them all effectively. The first, having passion, desire, and lust for your dream. You have to want it more than the next guy. You want it so bad you can taste it. Once you have that fire burning in your belly, it cannot be extinguished, no matter how large those obstacles appear. Being passionate and focused about your dreams will allow you to offset and minimize obstacles. Finding focus for your efforts will be your greatest leveraging tool. I have a concept I've lived my life by. I call it 4-4-40. FFF. Very easy, simple to remember. I believe that if you commit and work hard on any one thing for 4 years, your rewards will be multiplied and you'll be benefited for 40 years. Yeah. I thought my mom was sitting over here. Very often, people take up one task after another, never getting over the hill with any one of them. Without commitment, you can and will be distracted by the newest, greatest, and most exciting ideas. Each task has a honeymoon stage, followed by mountains of obstacles. It is during these times that you must call on the strength of your well-planned goal. Find focus in the outline of the obstacles ahead and your method of disarmament. One of my favorite inspirations comes from the Shakespearean work of Macbeth, and that is this: if you want something bad enough, you can't leave it to chance. In the play, it was prophesied to Macbeth that he will be king one day. However, because of his longing lust for kingship, he decided to speed up the natural course of succession, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and hire hitmen to eliminate your obstacles. But don't wait for dreams to come to you. You go out and get them. That determination, the go-get-it drive, is a valuable life skill. My dad told me that I would have to drink the whole glass of water because that would force me to slow down. Probably Lucinda is saying, put the glass down and keep going. Next, developing good relationships is key. No man is an island. Relationships must be worked on continually with your family, friends, and community. In a healthy relationship, there is a process of give and take. My pastors always counseled me that in a good relationship, it is not who is right, but what is right. Speaking of my pastor, it is also imperative to develop a good spiritual relationship, no matter what your background is. The belief in something bigger than yourself is both humbling and reassuring. Always remember that the ultimate wireless connection is prayer. Use it anywhere. No roaming charges. Don't forget that balance in all areas of your life is essential for longevity and happiness. Being out of balance in any one area will give you a good dunking in that river. The world does work in mysterious ways. A good example being that in helping others to attain their goals, you will ensure that you reach your own. You must be an active member within your community to fully benefit from it. Do not think only of yourself, but also of how you can empower those around you. Support your community. It will yield the greatest return of investment that you will ever make. Build a house in a village that you'll be proud to live in. Graduates, you need to develop a legacy for yourselves as well as your families. Make a difference. Practice these skills and you will rise above your obstacles. Before I close, I'd like to tell you a bit more about myself, highlighting some important lessons I've learned along the way. Hopefully you'll not spend a lot of time reinventing the wheel, just improving it. My worst business decision occurred in 1992. On graduating from dental school, I was looking for a place to open my own practice. My family and I lived in Caledon East. For those of you who don't know where that is, it's about 30 minutes north of here on Airport Road. Every day, while going back and forth from home to work, I would pass a sign that said how many people had moved into the new subdivision of Springdale. At that time, it was about 4,000 people. A plaza was being built for the new residents. I made an offer, and the landlord countered with a request for $3 more per square foot. I offered $2, and he refused. Neither of us would budge. Another dentist came along and gladly gave the landlord the $3. With that extra dollar, the dentist now had access to care for the over 132,000 eventual residents of Springdale. Even then, I had a clear vision of Brampton's growth potential, but pride would not allow me to be ripped off that $1. Pride is a killer and experience is a teacher. My second major slip into the water was 10 years ago while setting up my Sterling Dental offices in Brampton. I made a very poor decision regarding the leasing contracts. And as a result, I paid dearly to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars to correct them. That taught me that complacency is the first step to the death of a business. I do not tell you these things to tell you how inexperienced I am, although sometimes I wonder. I tell you these things to explain that growth is marred with flaws. Do not be afraid to dream big and make some mistakes. You will learn from your failures more than you will learn from your successes. Your failures will make you stronger. Do not suffer paralysis from analysis. Some people spend a lifetime planning but never executing. My mom claps louder than that. While there's a lot more to life than material wealth, everyone wants to know how to get more money. Why are we so squeamish to talk about making money? It helps. I mean, we do require a certain amount of money to take care of our needs. For most people, it is only through the process of acquiring money that they learn that the journey was more meaningful than the destination. Parents, plug your ears. Or maybe not, because this will work for you as well. Okay, students. So you've decided you want to be obscenely, filthy rich. And with this money, you want to contribute to some noble cause, hopefully. I've given you the basic ingredients, and all of these must be used. However, the one most important tool required to create great sums of money is creativeness. You must see things in ways others do not. This is an essential component for success. No matter which industry or discipline you choose, from engineering to the spoken word, from fashion design to the ministry, creativity is the critical principle for your financial success. With a show of hands, how many here have felt the pressure of going out and getting an Apple product? Exactly. This is a perfect example of a company who has employed creativity to attain unbelievable results. Steve Jobs, the man behind Apple Computer, was a genius thinker who brought value and demand to his products. In the late 90s, Apple saw the trend of the illegal downloading of digital music growing. It already had the iPod. But with some tweaking, the value innovation was created. An iTunes store where music could be downloaded at reasonable prices was launched. Individual songs could be purchased without having to pay for an entire CD of songs you did not want. The quality of the music recordings was improved and the store offered one-stop shopping. Apple created a demand for the consumers that had never existed and took the market, making megabucks. Has anyone heard of their other products? The iPhone, the iPad, the Mac, you have? The MacBook? In 6 short years, the price of the Apple stock went from $20 to $400. That's a 20 times increase. The Apple company is now worth over $350 billion. Can one of you tell me how many millions is in a billion? That's correct. 1,000 million in a billion. Apple has done it. Now it's up to you and you and you and you to do it. And when you've done it, drop me a line and tell me how it's going. A hearty congratulations to the scholars. I can't wait to hear from all of you. I'm confident that these strategies will work for you, as I know they will work for my son, Tao. I know the message was packed with information, so if you missed anything or want to hear it again, the video will be posted on my website, sterlingdental.com. I wish you all blessings and great success for the future. Award recipients, come up and get your copy of this book. It has helped me very much. And if no one objects, I'd be honored to get a photo. Come on up. Come on up. Can I get my wife to help me here? And if no one objects, I'd be honored to get a photo taken with such a driven and successful group of United Achievers. Thank you very much.
If somebody want to come up here, that way you can, you know, enjoy a little.
Students, when you get your book, please remain there because we will do the awards as well. Okay, students, please remain where you're standing.
Come on up here if you want. Yeah. Apple computers.
So ladies and gentlemen, in order to move things along, because I'm cognizant of the time and I do want to get you on the dance floor, we'll have other opportunities to take pictures of the students with their... students, please remain where you're standing. Students.